Good morning, boys and girls. How are you? Today we have English lesson. Do you know what phobia is it? You need to say what phobia is it. Yes, it's agoraphobia. We will speak about stress and phobia, agoraphobia. The motto of our lesson: when you explore your fears, then you set yourself free. Lesson objectives: learn and use new words, practice listening skills, read the text, do exercises. Can you say the top 5 phobias from the video?
Top 5 phobias. They may be irrational, but they're very real fears.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Number 5, acrophobia, the fear of heights. You'll never convince these folks to go bungee jumping, skydiving, or even on a Ferris wheel. But it's one of the most natural fears you can have.
Not a big fan of heights.
Tests show that even babies have an innate fear of heights. Not everyone's anxiety towards heights reaches the level of a phobia. You'll know you're an acrophobe if you have panic attacks or go out of your way to avoid high places. Number 4, pteromeranophobia, the fear of flying.
Let me off, 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 let me off.
Sometimes combined with claustrophobia, acrophobia, social anxiety, and even fear of death, the fear of flying prevents some sufferers from traveling by air at all.
Airline travel is very dangerous.
But don't be silly, it's the safest travel in the world. You're gonna love this, trust me.
Though it's known as the safest way to travel, logic does little to calm the fears of flying phobes. Most likely not an evolutionary-based phobia, as humans didn't fly until the 20th century. Pteromeranophobia is sometimes blamed on the media for perpetuating negative situations. Number 3, mysophobia, the fear of germs. Judging by hand sanitizer sales, this phobia is on the rise. Often called germaphobes, people who suffer from mysophobia are constantly washing their hands, are sometimes afraid of shaking hands or similar gestures, and are obsessed with contamination to the point where they cut themselves off from others. In fact, the fear may be related to obsessive-compulsive disorder and can lead to depression or isolation if not properly treated.
I'm not asking you to take sides. She didn't take the dogs to be mean. She's not a mean person. I'm asking you your opinion.
What is this?
What?
You didn't check your suit. There's a tear in it.
Number 2, agoraphobia and claustrophobia, the fear of open and closed spaces. Not only is agoraphobia a fear of open spaces, it's also a fear of crowded areas or anywhere one might have trouble escaping.
I wish I could come, but I'm a borderline agoraphobic.
Borderline. Is that what you're calling it?
And it can get so bad, severe agoraphobes hold themselves up in their homes, as that's their only safe place. Claustrophobia, on the other hand, is triggered by various situations. Being buried alive is the worst-case scenario, but even elevators, trains, and windowless rooms are unbearable for sufferers. Number 1, arachnophobia and ophidiophobia, the fear of spiders and snakes.
Chris, I'm scared to death.
Yeah, we all are. But our brains secrete a neurotransmitter and enables us to deal with them. Come on.
I don't think I have that particular neurotransmitter.
It takes a special kind of person to like these creepy crawly critters.
Can we panic now?
But there's a huge portion of the population that's terrified of spiders and snakes.
Don't like spiders.
And who can blame them? While more women than men claim to be arachnophobic, both irrational fears likely stem from evolution or personal experience. So what happens to people cursed with these fears? Even photographs can trigger anxiety attacks, screaming, fainting, and more.
The answer are: first, arachnophobia, ophidiophobia; second, agoraphobia, claustrophobia; third, mysophobia; fourth, pteromeranophobia; 5, acrophobia. Read the definition of agoraphobia. How do you think people who suffer from agoraphobia feel? How does it affect their lives? What can they do? Look at these words. How do they relate to agoraphobia? Listen and read to find out.
Attend. Attend. Bright. Bright. Hang out with. Hang out with. Judge. Judge.
Make excuses. Make excuses.
Miserable. Miserable.
Occasionally. Occasionally.
Overcome. Overcome.
Reassure. Reassure. Rush hour. Rush hour. Therapist. Therapist.
Read the text for question and choose the correct answer. The descriptors read the text and choose the correct answer from the text.
Teens problems. Hi, my name is Amy, and I'm 21 years old. I enjoy hanging out with my friends, watching Netflix, and eating pizza. I'm studying graphic design at university. I also suffer from agoraphobia. It all started 2 years ago when I was on the bus. It was during the rush hour, and the bus was packed. Suddenly, I started feeling hot. My palms were sweating. My heart was racing, and I was finding it difficult to breathe. I felt so frightened. I didn't know it at the time, but I was having a panic attack. Over the next few weeks, I had more. I worried about when the next one would start, and so I began making excuses about why I couldn't go out. I stayed at home because I felt safe there, and it wasn't long before I was too afraid to go outside at all. I stopped attending classes at university, and I didn't take my exams, so I failed the year. I stopped going out with my friends, but I didn't tell them why, so they thought I didn't like them anymore, and they stopped calling me. I was at home all day, alone, and miserable. I lived in this way for more than 3 months. Most days, I stayed in my pajamas, and some days I didn't even get out of bed. Then, one day, I saw a documentary on TV about a woman who had overcome her agoraphobia. She didn't wait for her fear to go away before she went outside. She faced it. I decided it was time to face my own fear. I called my friend, Tracy, and I told her the whole story. To my surprise, she didn't judge me. She came straight over to my house, and together we walked to the shop on the corner of my street to buy a magazine. It was terrifying. The outside world felt so big, so bright, so loud. My heart started beating faster. I can't do this, I told Tracy. She looked me in the eyes. Yes, you can, she reassured me. That was what I needed, someone who believed in me. I made it to the shop and back, and the next day, Tracy came with me to the doctor's. I still suffer from agoraphobia, and I still get panic attacks occasionally, but I'm getting better every day. I see a therapist every 2 weeks, but the most helpful people are my friends. They are always there to support me in everything I do. Thank you, guys.
You need to answer, why did Amy become agoraphobic? According to Amy, why did her friends stop calling her? Why did Amy decide to go outside? Why do we learn about the agoraphobia from the text, and what the writer purpose? You need to answer. Answer key 1B, 2C, 3D, 4A, 5B. It's the answers. Fill in the gaps. Sweet, difficult, panic, races, and face. The answer: panic attack, heart races, palm sweats, face my fear, difficult to breathe. We need to discuss what I read, what I think, and what I understand from this text. The lesson objectives of the text was learn and use the new words, practice listening skills, read the text, and do exercises.